Recorder of man's deeds, the keeper of his conscience, the courier of his news, that we look for strength and assistance. Without debate, without criticism, no administration and no country can succeed, and no republic can survive.
All right, it is Thursday, May 7th. Thursday all day. In the last video, I was a little excited and said it was Friday because of all the good news. Typically, they like to dump lots of the good news on Fridays. But here we are getting Flynn completely exonerated, charges dropped by the DOJ. But you still get Schiff kind of... he still lied. I was just looking at the Twitter while we were waiting to come on. So anyway, welcome to the Patriot Hour. We got the Oath of Three. We got Fluid Pour. We got Ben and myself, Michael. Again, we always encourage you to listen to everybody, subscribe to everything, look at all the articles, but come to your own conclusions. Never believe what we say. Never believe what anyone says until you can verify it. Now, we've been following a storyline here. And I'm just seeing now, too, the House Intel Committee releases the 53 transcripts. I mean, so we're going to have to get into that. Let's, without any further ado, welcome all Patriots. I see some of the mods. We got Fluid Pour, well, of course, Fluid Pour here. He's a mod. I saw Grillin, maybe Face, but I don't know. People are saying they're getting the alerts again. We've been having tons of issues. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Drop us a link if you see something funny. At this point, there's nothing we can do. Fellas, how's everyone doing? Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Lots of good
news. Great day.
Can't complain. Can't complain. Let me shut down a few things here.
I'm kind of doing the same thing. I've been out and about. I've been traveling to multiple states, and you know the boys here at the team been keeping me abreast of what's going on. Just big drops happening today. Just good stuff coming down the pike, you guys. We're gonna definitely walk away with a big win on this one. I'll have to say I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, and you know, Fluid Pour, we've been following this story, haven't we, about Flynn? I mean, what's your thoughts on it? I mean, did you get the link I dropped right away when I sent it, or?
Yes, I did. Yep, and I'm just glad that he's a free man. He was always a free man. He never did anything wrong, and it's time that the people that did set him up in order to set our president up, it's time for them to face some justice. And it's not undue, you know. They've walked themselves into this corner. Now they have to pay the piper.
I agree. They maybe poked at the, you know, they probably played this game with many people over the years, and it seems like they said in lieu of the internal paperwork that got dumped.
Yeah. And that's
so it's like their own paperwork, and it's like, oh, since you guys got that and it's out in the public consumption now, well, I guess we'll back off of charging them.
Okay.
It's like, well, sure, wait, you guys had access to all this all the time, right? You kept staring at it like, to come out and drop charges, we kind of have to like admit and release this, and it's better just to hope. They were holding on to it in the hopes that it would all go away. Trump would be out. Something would change the fact that they needed to ever release it. Is that your thoughts, Ben?
No.
I mean, weren't we talking like earlier? It's like, isn't this really weird that for the first time internal investigation shows that somebody's exonerated? Doesn't normally what happen is you have internal investigation that either shows, oh, the organization did no wrong. It was this person. And that's normally what you see in an internal investigations, like the Federal Reserve giving us an internal audit and saying, here's our numbers. Sounds good. So this is, I thought that was a kind of a unique little twist in the game. Like, internal records show we just need to drop all charges and just move on. Okay, let's go. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was just testing out our cameras here. I'm getting them set up.
This is great. So
Well, that guy, Doug that I had on Centrona, can you say it proper, Greg? His last name?
No, because
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to butcher
Well, I
that
don't have
right
it in
now.
front of me. Wait, if I have it in front of me. Doug Suragana. I'm gonna say Suragana.
Okay.
He's probably real happy he sees that Suragana. He made a good point. He goes, when all these people, the one expert in the Fed Reserve, G. Griffin, and a couple of the others he was talking about, he said that they get into this lingo called Fed talk. When they get backed into a corner and getting asked questions, then it gets to a point where they don't have an answer and the things that they're doing are illegal. They just go into Fed talk, which is a bunch of lingo that don't quite make sense, but it gets them out of that situation. And I was like, wow, they use that in all angles. It's called, not so much Fed talk in every angle, but that logic. It's called nonsense. So that's powerful sometimes if you do it right.
They had zero humility.
Did you just break up, or was that me?
Yeah, I don't know if I broke up or you broke up, but either way, I was saying they had zero humility when they did this to him. What they did was a disgrace to this nation and to the fabric, everything that we believe in, man. It's disgusting that this could happen at a level so high for an organization that we're supposed to be able to trust to do honest and good things for the people. I don't know, man. It's going to have to be totally reconstructed. That's my thought.
Well, let's take a look at this here.
well, let's see what we got here.
We're going to jump right into this.
JT Wild's in the house. What up, brother? If you're in the house.
Hey, JT. Good to see you, brother.
I don't know. I haven't
What
seen
is
you from here.
going on? Oh, that didn't work out so well. Let me readjust this. Just
Everybody getting ready for the Patriots Fest. I've got a lot of questions that have been asked to me on Patriots. So it's August 14th and 15th, and y'all better check on them hotels right away because they're getting slim.
Oh, yes. There's been a lot of Patriots are doing pre-investigation. Our subscribers are no joke on that. So
it's a booking.
Yes.
I know people are saying, I've emailed you, I didn't get nothing back. That's been the case for lots of people. Trust me, if you're watching this, if you've been following, you don't need to hear back from us to come. That's just more of our little events that we're doing. You can camp out on Saturday without hearing back, and you could also get a hotel room. It's happening. That Friday is our thing. Friday night show, JT Wild live. And then Saturday's events, flag retirement, the ride, 50-mile ride, 40-mile ride, 60-mile ride, and then a band again on Saturday, and food, and then we're trying to maybe plan something for Saturday, that evening special. We still got time. One of the key things for that to happen was, businesses need to come back up. And that actually has happened, and my buddy is actually creeping back in. So I'm just going to see how that goes and keep an eye on it and then make moves. That's how we do it.
So, and it is, like Mike said, it is open to the public. We are announcing it, come one, come all. We are trying to build an email list, and so for future events, this is possibly what we're trying to do. Is if this event kicks off as huge as we're planning it to be, then we may need another venue. And we're wanting to basically build up a mailing list. We can send you guys out information, what we're doing. We got a lot of things that Mike wants to do with the channel, expanding on many different avenues. And so this is going to be a way for us not only to keep in touch with, boots on the ground where you're at. This is going to be a community we're trying to form here, not just to come on out, have a good time, then all right, we're cool. This is a community we're trying to really establish. Of researchers, journalists, I mean, you name it. Who are your professions? We want to have everybody in their field come and be an expert and be a part of this.
Yes, we do. and we value. I mean, don't think a lot of you have emailed in the last couple of years with this channel, given a lot of hints. You've commented, you've taken the time to watch the videos, comment down below, email, all the great things. So, you know, a lot of times you don't get an email back, but it hasn't gone unnoticed. Have I gotten to all emails? It's virtually impossible. Until I open up that email to have people in there to help me, which I have not done yet, it's impossible. There's too many, but I think the ones get to me that need to. Not that all of your messages aren't important, but and I'm sure there's been a few I've missed, and I hopefully covered on my own behalf by you know, stumbling across that information. But I'm sure. So let's jump into, because this might take a minute, this breaking House Intel Committee releases of 57 transcripts that we've been waiting on from the Mueller, the whole boom.
The whole bottle waxy.
And this just hit at 6:08, so about an hour ago at this point. So we're going to go to the link, but the House Intelligence Committee released the 57 previously undisclosed transcripts. Let me give you the guys the background on this. From the Mueller probe into the Trump administration. Chairman Adam Schiff released the documents after, and I just texted that fool about this earlier today. I said, you released those. And he was talking about something totally different. Chairman Adam Schiff released the documents after DNI Rick Journell threatened to release them himself earlier this week. The committee voted in 2018 to release the damning documents that show no Russia collusion from all the way back in 2017, this paperwork, but, you know, in 18. So
juicy.
No Russia. But he went on to say that they did, and he had proof. So here they all are. We got conversations of interviews with Bannon, Brown.
Let's look at those Coates. Let's see what happens. Let's click on Coates and or how about Clapper? Let's see what they talk about.
Let's go to Coates, because we're waiting on that C before D. They're dealing with Coates right now.
I think so. Ooh. So what does this say to this?
Pull this over a little more here.
DNI.
Now, of course, there's 56 other ones that you guys can go pile through. We're just kind of giving you guys the place to go connect the dots to.
Let me make it a little bigger here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what? This person in the chat room here just made a really good point. It was just made in the chat about about Schiff. You know, them not releasing this stuff because they couldn't release it because it was part of the case of General Flynn. So General Flynn set free, and boom, now all this stuff is coming out.
Great. See, I mean, look at this. This is Trey Gowdy. You know, he's got some.
Let me look at
Reciting.
one more thing here, guys. Desktop capture.
I see what you're trying to do, brother. I see you
Well,
expand
it's
it,
cut.
move it over.
Ooh, what happened?
Yeah, no, I'm tracking. No worries.
What just happened there? Oh, I went.
Little bit of techno difficulty. Hey, look, you guys. We see your chats. They're coming through. Look at that.
It's number 3. There it is. Now let me get in here and multi-view it up, or just position.
So you guys can just get an idea that you can go through there real straightforward, start looking for yourself, start reading it for yourself, and you come to your own conclusions. You know, we pulled this one up just as a quick example, you know how that goes. So, oh yeah, proud American. I love Trey Gowdy. He's a good man, you know. It seemed like he was, what did they say? They had the doc side had something on him or something like that, and he was able to get freed up and started really hitting the Constitution and the power to the people real hard. And I remember years ago, Mike and I were talking like, oh my gosh, you see what he was saying? He was really cutting him up there.
All right, now I got it. Okay, so the committee must be pursuant to call 1023 in the room HV 304, Trey Gowdy. This what I go to Trey Gowdy, or he's meeting Dan Coates is with Trey Gowdy. So Mr. Gowdy says, I'll be Mr. Gowdy. Who wants to be Dan Coates?
All right, Fluid. You want to be Dan Coates?
All right.
Director Coates,
Sure.
hit him up.
I'm Mr. Gowdy,
I
so
don't
here we
like
go.
being the bad guy, but I will.
Well, you play such a good one.
You gotta
All right,
fill
here-
the bearded wonder spot.
All right, I'm Mr. Gowdy. Thank you for your extra time.
Thank you for allowing me to do this in the open SSCI hearing on the budget. I mean, the whole thing was turned the other way and so forth, and I didn't think it was appropriate with a one-day notice in an open session. I didn't really feel I could fully answer some questions without it having been distorted by the media. So I did speak to the SSCI at closed session, and with the promise it would be, everything done to prevent any kind of leaks, so forth, and there was a leak. So thanks, Mike.
Leaker.
So when you say, so I appreciate you narrowing down on this because, for whatever reason are unexplainable or maybe explainable, it is just hard to keep things. And then my role is to have a relationship with the president and part of the briefing every day. And if I say something and the media dismissed, or even if it is leaked, classified, or whatever, it undermines my ability to do what I think my role is in terms of being advisor and intelligence presenter for the president, which I hope is helping in a positive way, not negative. So that is why I appreciate you kind of narrowing it down here, because the guys I serve with across the way promised me, no, we have got this totally confined to the pact that there won't be any leaks, and all of a sudden there's a story, and it could only have from there. So,
Well, Mr. Representative Schiff, Representative Schiff and I have similar backgrounds in the justice system, and leaks are unfair to everyone. It is one of those rare things that actually are unfair to everyone. So you don't need to worry about that here.
yeah, because I want to put, what everything that has happened in some context here that could be easily misstated if it was leaked out. But I think it will give you a better sense of what the president has said, what we do in those ovals, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I want to get to that in a second. I want to start, if I can, from the day you took the oath of office. Have you become aware of any additional evidence? And when I use the word evidence, that is a legal term. I think you know what I mean by that, even though it is not an intelligence committee term. Evidence of collusion, coordination, conspiracy between Russia and Donald Trump himself during the 2016 presidential campaign.
Absolutely not. None.
To you, is there a difference in the words collusion, coordination, conspiracy, or are they all synonymous for one another?
Conspiracy.
I think they are all close synonyms, but I think there are some differences.
All right. If I were to separate out those words and ask them individually, have you seen any evidence of any of these three?
Nope, I have not.
Have you seen any evidence of collusion or coordination or conspiracy between the Russians and or any member of Trump official in his campaign?
No, I haven't. I totally separate from anybody that has anything in this camp. But the only engagement I had with Donald Trump was when he came to Indiana, and there were crowds of, 4,000 or 400 fundraisers or whatever, 2 or 3 times. And relative to the campaign, that is my engagement. Yes, engagement.
All right. I'm looking at the wrong screen, so I can't see what you see. But since you
It's all
have
good,
become...
No, I haven't seen any. I have not seen.
You have seen nothing since you took the oath of office in your current position.
Correct.
All right. So we have covered Trump in his official campaign. How about those who claim to be in his orbit or sphere, whether they were part of the official campaign or not? Collusion, coordination, conspiracy between the Russians and any of them, since you have...
I have not. I have not. I have not. You know, in my position, I have taken the position the investigation needs to go on. I don't need to be a part of it at all. But if I had evidence to suggest that I have seen that, I mean, I would have to expose that if asked by special counsel. I have met with special counsel and told them exactly what I know and what I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to scan forward because there's like 30 some pages, but we're just giving you, like, look how that started out. He pretty much has already said no, no, no. So let's see if he changes. Does he change? So look, we're only on page 80 to 32 of just the coats. Just the... Looks like Mr. Schiff jumps in here. Oh, wait. Do these just go to each of them? Is that what it is? I only got a couple more minutes, and then Mr. Schiff is going to go. Okay, so it looks like it ends.
Okay.
We'll go into that one. Let's see here. Let me read through a few more. I have only a couple more minutes, Mr. Schiff. These are my last two questions, so let's go back to these. Did the president ever ask you to publicly state that there was no evidence or collusion between him and his campaign and Russia?
The president, on more than one occasion, said, I have been reading about people who have access to this information that have publicly stated that there is no collusion, both Democrats and Republicans. He mentioned Dianne Feinstein. He mentioned Mark Warner, Richard Burr. He mentioned a whole number of names. He said, is that something you can do? And I said, Mr. President, in my job, that is nothing, I think. I do not think it is appropriate for me to do that. And it was never more than is there something you can do? Is there something you can say? Others have done it. I guess he was thinking, look, you are the director of DNI. He was probably in his mind thinking, hey, you are. If anybody knows what's going on in intelligence from intelligence standpoint, you must you say it. I did not think it was appropriate to do that. And then that's deleted. And to tell you the truth, I was sitting there thinking, here is the President of the United States sitting in an empty White House. His wife is in New York. His family's in New York. On Saturday night, that has got to be a lonely thing to do.
Well, he should have flipped on and watched the NCAA Final Four and left you alone. Yes. Last question before Adam goes. In any of your conversations with President Trump, any of them, did you feel any influence at all? Even a skenosla of influence to alter the trajectory of the investigation?
No, not the way you stated that, no. I was uncomfortable at times because I didn't think he should be asking me, could I say something publicly? But in terms of having anything to do with trying to alter I knew absolutely I could not do that. Should not do that. Would not do that.
No, Sam, I am. No, Sam, I can't. Without the box, out of the box.
That is a separate question from whether or not he was trying to influence you. I get that you did not become influenced, but did you believe that he was attempting to influence any aspect of your investigation in any of the conversations that you had with him?
To the very, very best of my recollection, and I don't mean that as trying to legal way out at all. I had the conclusion that he was asking me to alter or in any way influence the outcome of it. He probably thought that if I would say something publicly, it might have an impact, just as I thought what had been said by both Democrats and Republicans who had the access to all the information would have an influence or could have an influence.
Thank you, Director. Now, this is Adam Schiff. I know this puts you in a difficult, uncomfortable position. I appreciate you sitting down with us. You mentioned the telephone conversation. And was the date you said you knew the date?
That was the 25th. I went back. I asked my staff. I said, when was the Final Four? So I know that was the 25th.
So then he says March 25th. Or I say March 25th. Mm-hmm. And when you had the conversation with the president, you were in the car with your security detail?
No, they got out of the car.
They got out of the car. So you were alone
You were in the car alone? Uh-huh.
After the conversation, did you discuss the conversation with others? You returned to the office?
I don't think so. I might have mentioned something. I went back to... Actually, I didn't even mention it to my family. I just said, the president wanted somebody to talk to on a Saturday night. I wish he had been watching the game.
Did you discuss, though, what the president had asked you to do with members of your staff when you returned to work?
I had mentioned to my staff that the president, that I was a little bit frustrated over the president wanting me to issue that public statement.
That statement being that you didn't think there was any evidence of collusion.
Uh-huh.
That is a yes, right? We have a reporter, so I want to...
That is a yes. Yes, this is exactly, I hope this is what I said to Trey.
So who on your staff would have you discussed this with?
My staff, Viraj Mirani, he was my chief of staff at the Senate, and I have discussed that with our Ted Gestaro, who is our main briefer, guy that stays up all night and gets everything ready for the...
Are there any others that you discussed this conversation with?
Did I discuss that with you?
Mr. Booker, just in preparation.
Just in preparation for this, yes.
And you mentioned that conversation...
I might have discussed it with my acting principal deputy, Ted Dempsey. I think he did.
Mr. Booker.
Mike Dempsey.
Yeah.
Mike Dempsey?
You mentioned that conversation made you uncomfortable and that you told the president you didn't feel it was appropriate and to do that. What leads you...
Well, I felt uncomfortable with the second. I mean, not the first time. I just thought, well, I guess I did feel a little bit uncomfortable, but to have him ask me again, I felt a little bit uncomfortable about answering it.
So the phone call was the second time he asked you to publicly state there was no collusion?
No, I don't recall the phone call. This was a kind of a pull aside before the Oval or after the Oval. I don't recall whether or not he asked me that. I know the only thing he has asked me is that issue. I can't 100% say that he asked me that on that phone call. No.
I'm not sure that I am following with all those no's. You said that made you uncomfortable the second time he asked you to push back on the collusion issue. What was the first time he had asked you?
Well, let's see. My first Oval would have... Scroll up.
Oh, yeah. I'm all into this other page over here.
A little too far. There we go. My first Oval would have been, let's see, I was confirmed, I was sworn in on the 15th. On Thursday, and next week was your first Oval, Director Coates again. Next week, so March. Probably the 20th, 21st, 18th, somewhere in there.
So he pulled you aside on an Oval Office meeting?
No. He came in, he was talking about that. He looked at me and said, "Is that something you can say?"
So the first time that he raised the Russia investigation with you was at the Oval Office in a pull-aside where he asked you if you could publicly state that there was no evidence of collusion.
That is my recollection of the first time. The only other interactions I have had with the president prior to that was in the Oval Office. Congratulations, great to have you on board, so forth, so on. And it was at that point that he was, and this was in January after I had been nominated. He talked to me about how unfair he thought it was, that New York briefing, that he was pulled aside.
Wow.
This is unreal, man.
So we're just
So
gonna
you got it
scroll
all.
You guys with all these things in here, there's 57 documents of this stuff It just goes on and on. You can see it there, like, with president, and then it's blocked out. Of course.
So let me see here.
Did the president ever ask? Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna look here. Letter from.
So you see, you guys. I mean, we're talking. I mean, this is just crazy. All these little transcripts, these interviews.
Cover page.
I mean, there's just so much stuff out there. We can just scroll through, say what they said. I mean, this is the testimony. Like, well, and this is, under oath. And they know it's going to be classified for a while. And they're like, well.
Mr. Conaway. Wasn't that?
Here we go. Now we're getting into some meat. What's going on here? You see how much juice?
With just the stroke of a pen, President Trump could provide the public with information necessary to assess his claim with the Obama administration and properly surveilled him and his associates. You see that?
Look at this, you guys. There's just so much out there with links. I mean, press rooms. You should watch sues for FBI records on UK Trump dossier. I mean, come on, you guys. Look at this. So this being said, this is where you get this stuff down, get it down, sift through it. If you find some nuggets, email it in.
Yep. This is where the truth is going to be found.
It's gonna be
Yeah. The Russian government is the so-called Putin regime. I mean, see all this stuff.
Transcript of Roger Stone.
Let's see if
Wow.
McCabe slams dropping a Flynn case as pure politics designed to please the president. This guy is getting ready to go down, and he's talking. Obama, Biden, Comey, Yates, Rice, and Brennan discussed Flynn Kislyak calls in January. Look at that. There we go.
Yes, sir.
Hey. Deep staters.
So 2020 Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden was in January 2017 Oval Office meeting discussing General Flynn's phone calls with Russian Ambassador Kislyak with Obama, Yates, Comey, Rice, Brennan. The Justice Department dropped its case against Mike Flynn Thursday after bombshell documents released proved he was framed by Corney, FBI. On January 4th, 2017, just one day before the Oval Office meeting, the FBI field office found no derogatory information on Flynn and decided to close the counterintelligence probe dubbed Crossfire Razor. On January 5th, 2017, the FBI Director James Comey had a secret meeting in the Oval Office before he traveled to Trump Tower, New York, to brief then-elect. And guess who was probably in that meeting? Obama. Now, why was he? Why was he briefed, The unusual meeting to discuss a dossier in the FBI's Russia investigation that took place on January in Obama's White House was discovered by Chuck Grassley in 2018. Senator Grassley uncovered a bizarre, partially declassified email.
National Security Advisor. This is crazy, you guys. So you just see where all these different things take up. This is starting to kind of unravel or unpeel like a crazy stinky onion. And I mean, look at all this information. It's getting out there.
This is going to be. This
Look
is
at
going to
that.
go
We
down
won't
as the
hold our
worst
breath.
political.
We won't hold our breath waiting for the media to ask Joe Biden about his role in plotting the scheme against Flynn. Biden is a swamp person. What is that?
Swamp
personified.
creature.
Biden is a swamp personified. Not only did he spend 8 years as Barack Obama's vice president, he participated in secret Oval Office meetings with coup plotters shortly before Donald Trump's inauguration.
Wasn't it
sick
he
man.
who taxed us?
It was he.
It
was he who tasked them. It was he who tasked. It was you. This gay.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
We talk about, and it's one that's the tee-hee.
This is going to go down as the worst political scandal in the United States history. This is history books being written right now, people.
Well,
yes.
I think it's funny. Trump had said something funny where it's like you can get tired of winning, and it's been interesting. There has been some crazy history book stuff happening, and I'm really interested to see what's going to be happening on the Hill. Obviously, I know we don't live our lives by all this. Oh my gosh, this is to us, this is great information, and you take it for what it is, connect the dots, you move on, and you become happier for it. It doesn't dominate who you are every single day.
Biden going down. He's yelling timber. He's going down.
Chop him down.
Joe says that's a bunch of malarkey.
That's a bunch of malarkey. He is a lark. That's what he is. Get him, Biden. That's Biden.
There he coming at you, Joe. Tara Reid coming at you, Joey.
Biden.
A little bit of that lunchbox, Joseph.
Oh man,
Joe money.
that hurt just watching that.
I'm gonna reach in
Look
there.
at this. Look at
Little
this
close,
guy.
Joe. That's my daughter. Little close.
That's somebody's
Back
kid,
up.
man. Back
up,
off.
You creepy son of a.
And look at that. Her dad just is like, I've already done the ritual, honey. I'm sorry. I've already done.
Yep.
See you guys.
Well, baby
Allegedly. My
Alleged.
opinion.
Yes.
Corn. Look at that. Blam. Bam.
Oh, there
Fire
you go. That's
Marshal.
crazy. Right
Well,
there.
Fire Marshal.
Fire Marshal Bill. Uh-oh.
Oh, this Thompson, bye-bye, Joe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dumpster
Bye-bye.
diving.
It gets kind of sick in here, y'all, when we do some dumpster diving.
Man, these documents are damning, he said. Wait, what was that? What was that? Breaking Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader has died.
Imagine that.
What?
This is...
What?
RBG? Didn't she die like
does
a
that
while
mean
ago?
you
Then
get
she
to
came up?
BG. They were just trying to say she recovered,
Another
bro.
sickness?
You know why?
Oh.
They're going to try to get a state continuance on there. We're going to put the coronavirus. We can't have no funeral.
Hell
No funerals are not a sin.
No.
Well, you can't see the body. She got the
I'm
coronas
dying.
with the lime, so you can't put it in the coconut coffin.
Well, I'm not, hey,
Boy.
she's
Boy,
gone.
there's been a lot of booms today. It's
A
just
lot of boom shakalakas.
We shall see. I know the birds are still chirping, but I
Joe
know the
Biden
old
done.
interwebs.
Joe Biden done.
Joe Biden is done.
Joe Biden's done.
Joe Biden's the Biden.
Let
my
Bidens
gosh.
be Bidens. Just
Danny Chazin, does anyone think this is a psyop? That's all a psyop, brother. The whole
Your
thing's
whole-
been a
your whole
psyop
life.
on both sides. Think about it. If there's bad people
life.
doing bad things, there's good folk doing good, right? I mean, it's one's only got to think logical about it. So, yeah, what is a psyop? That's what we're doing here. We're trying to psychologically shake you to the truth. We're on a psychological
psychologically
mission.
bring it back to the truth, brother. So I guess use some of that truth
trying to
juice.
get you to vomit that blue pill and
With
swallow
some,
the red one.
mixed with a little bit of that dirty waters of the brown bean.
Yeah,
No,
some
no
of that
swamp
truth
juice.
juice. Juice.
you
Biden's
know,
days
it's-
of sniffing hair are closing in, folks.
Unless he
have
gets a
no
nice
doubt.
roommate.
He'll have his own experiences of people coming up behind him and sniffing his hair in orange
He'll be
jumpsuits.
the one sniffed upon. Let's put it that way, right?
All right,
He's
yeah.
gonna be sniffed down and hunted.
Yeah, Shelley was released from jail, and no one will be jailed in the state of Texas for. I couldn't quite cut that, but yeah, we've been hearing that a lot too. On another positive, great note,
Yeah,
there's lots of sheriffs and coming out in all different states, all different counties, and making public statements via all different social media, letting people know that their deputies in their county, they're not going to be arresting for the some of the states are going pretty much like where I'm at, they're going pretty much out of hand. So you see, it's a good sign. A lot of those sheriffs are stepping up and understanding that who holds the real real constitutional power in your
judge
community.
is
It's your sheriff. So it's,
I think that lady got
it's pretty
released
awesome.
today too, didn't she? She got
Yeah,
released.
that's what he was talking
yes.
about.
Yeah,
That
yes,
hair
yes.
salon owner. Yeah, and the DOJ, they came out and made
Did
that
you
official.
guys really dig into that? That guy wanted an apology. It was no money. He could have said, "Well, you messed up, $500 fine or whatever the fine was going to be, and let you go."
He
But
could have
like,
sued the
He
the city. He could have
he wanted
an apology, guys.
what was a lady that got arrested, but the
Yeah,
judge,
the lady.
yeah, the judge wanted his big thing was, you want you to apologize to the courts and to the people. You put people to lie, and she's like, no, and that's what it was like. What? You're going to jail. And until you apologize is what he's trying to write. You can't do that. I mean, they were asking the lawyer on Tucker last night, have you ever known? He's like, I've been a lawyer for a long time. I've never had a judge just pop off and like want something like it's totally not like. Just he could have just kept it. If he was that mad, he could have played into the law and miscued the words and done things wrong to her, but at least made it look lawful. That there was he couldn't help himself. And they said there's been another thing 2 years ago or 3 years ago with this judge down there that went rogue. What this was a tyrant. We're starting to see tyrants pop up all over the country because they got a little bit of power, and sometimes when you get a little bit, it's like and they can't control themselves. So
That
since
kid with
power
cake,
was
brother.
it's dangerous, but that's what Trump made happen. Some tyrants pop up all over, and we saw a few of those folks. And this same judge, I guess 2 years ago or 3 years ago, attacked another judge in the chambers. They were talking about it last night. He attacked another
got a
judge
physical violent
because
past.
he's lashes out at people emotionally, physically.
Think about it, guys. A judge doesn't know how to use his words, so he beats at people with his fists. This guy's a judge.
Well, that's
Really?
just further,
I mean, that's
further
just like an
evidence.
oxymoron.
That's further evidence
Oh
that,
my
that
God.
liberalism is just a disease.
Yeah.
It got it in all ranks and all
Progressively, you
levels.
get worse.
These bad seeds. Yeah, I mean, what a great point, Mike. I mean, it really is showing even those closest to you, those in your community, those who represent you, who whether you voted for them or not, it's showing their true colors, what they truly stand for, what they truly believe in, what they truly want to accomplish. And some of it, you get excited, like, all right, there's some good people around us. Yes, there's mostly good. But these tyrants, like you said, when they get a little taste of power, they're handlers, some, allegedly. It's so incredibly addictive, that power, that it's not about money, it's not about, all that kind of stuff. It's just crazy. And they pop up
Goes
like
back,
little infestations.
yeah.
Yeah,
and
well,
when
they've
you
been
have
here.
That power, to whom much is given, much is expected.
They don't know
I think
about
they've
that,
been
though.
here. I think they've been here and been doing
Yes.
bad things, and we didn't get the, like this is where people say, I got screwed at court last week, and they'll sometimes tell you, I don't know both sides, but according to you, yes, I was like, you got screwed. But no, it's been happening, and now with the heightened of this, it's down to things like, I'm going to go open my shop anyway because I have the right. I haven't been taken to court.
It's
I
my
haven't been put on
constitutional
house
right
arrest.
to do this.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're exercising
I
it.
strongly.
Like the warrior you should. And then this guy goes rogue, and you get to see his true colors. Where before it was mass, because this was going on all over the country in tidbits. But it's not everyone. It's not every judge. It's not every cop. It's not every. We know that. We're not.
Of course.
Folks. We're above that. We don't. So tyranny. Kansas City is now requiring churches to keep a list of people entering churches. So there's other tyrant-ing types of things going on as well. Kansas City is now requiring churches to keep a list of people entering. So that's kind of,
you guys, as many states are going off the wall, like my own, and some of what their governors and what they're requesting. There's also a lot of really good states where nobody's done nothing and they've just kept on living their lives. We need to highlight that point as well, because those guys, their governance, it kind of makes you think, all right, well, I'm seeing what I'm going to be doing with my governor here soon, and when we vote, and it's going on here, it's been really crazy. So it's like, and yet another one.
Whoa, there's
So,
a big one.
there you go.
Interesting.
Former CIA official calls for Brennan and Comey to receive the death penalty.
Wow. All them videos I made about people getting hung and stuff were also violent
I think
for
it has-
YouTube.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
Yes,
it's
so-
just
so, I mean,
reality.
I mean, so the former CIA can call for somebody to receive the death. You should die from the death penalty.
Now
You
it's
should
all right.
die. Now it's okay. Well,
Yeah.
Michael, you don't have the credentials that a former CIA official has on that.
I
on
don't
that
have
timber.
the agenda. I
With some
know.
ink.
I don't have the
You're not
agenda. I
paid.
know.
You don't have handlers. You gotta have handlers, good sir, to know all this kind of stuff. That's why you have.
You did not
credentials.
graduate from Harvard.
Yeah, I didn't.
But-
I didn't. You know, my parents didn't pay the $500,000, and I didn't have a rowboat to sit in and get pictures taken. You know.
You mean your
Or,
mother wasn't an actress?
not the rowboat club, but the.
It just depends on what level of money you want to come into. The rowboat club, I believe, was a few million. Below that, I believe, was the
yacht
cricket
club.
or chess
That
club.
was a really good point in the comments there. They said change the perspective or distract and focus with everything that's being released.
Do what now?
I don't know if you caught all that. Okay, there was a comment that just went through and it said change the focus to RGB. So her death is now the false flag for, or it's obvious, but it's the direction, change in direction to that. You know what I'm saying? You know the thing.
This is Sharon.
Yeah, the Hegelian dialectic.
Yeah, Hegelian dialect.
Yeah, we understand that. But we'll also get this, though. Get this, though, brother. Why is RGB's death from the Corona and Lyme and the bottle, why is her death more important than all these other alleged deaths? You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like,
Just to change the focus.
Change the focus. If it's change the focus, you know, how come I'm not hearing about, you know, two men wanting to get pregnant down in Arkansas and they're going to be going to the governor? I mean, where's all that crazy? Like, oh my gosh,
Governor.
he's a 3-year-old and he wants to become a monkey. And so we're going to start the hormones, you know? I mean, what's going on with all that crap?
Nadler explodes over DOJ dropping Flynn case, says we'll be holding a hearing with AG Barr ASAP. So now what we know is going to happen is they're for sure knowing which way this is going to go now. There was like, we hope they got to him. Well, Barr's going to do this. He's part of the thing from back then. Yeah, unless they gave him a deal. You know, they didn't know. They thought hopefully it's going to work out. But now they're going to, like Q did say,
he is the
they're going to
president.
call
He
for the
can't do
recusal of
elevated
Durham's no good,
powers.
Barr's not good enough, Durham's no good. Get him out of there. They're on the take.
Get the boat out of there.
Trump has managed to, corrupt this whole system in 3 years.
Evil orange man.
And he comes up.
Hey, you know,
smelling better
it
every
is
time.
funny because it is right. It's unraveling, and it's kind of funny to it's funny to watch because this is what we keep on telling you guys. I mean, do you see there is light at the end of the tunnel? There is hope. I mean, there's a lot of
It is
fear out
happening.
there that's being pushed, and it's like, and so you know what? And I mean, you trust who you want to trust. I trust in God. I trust the Bible and the plan that it has before me, and that's where my rock and my foundation lies on. And so you have something like that. All this stuff is just straight up, you know, super awesome knowledge, gravy, whatever you want to call it. You know, this is just awesome to get into. But there's also validation. This little things like this happens today. Flynn getting, all charges dropped. All these things coming out. Now we're seeing the real back end story of how this stuff really started. That's really cool stuff that I'm like, so my gut was right yet again. All right, cool.
Yeah,
So
it's a little bit more
it's almost
vindication
like when
for
I
us to kind of move forward
Yeah.
on and know that we're on the right path and we're going to keep going forward.
Yes.
We're not going to stop. We're not going to listen to
Absolutely.
the naysayers, because if we did, who knows where we'd be. That's why we don't group think. That's why we don't play along with a lot of the other games. Hey, this is a business to some people. I get that. It is a business to us, but it's a business of keeping America free, promoting our freedoms, and just that's our foundation, folks. Our agenda was clear from the beginning: freedom, promoting liberties, and explaining that to you and trying to show you the correct path. Not trying to sell you stuff, not trying to sell you, MREs and bug out bags and gold and the next thing that I'm going to promote and pitch. And hell with all that. That's agendas that people have, and that can persuade them. Like, oh, I can't talk about certain things now because YouTube's messing with this and that on me, and I want to make sure that I'm, this is what I do for a living. It's my business, so and that's possibly fine. They're an American, but that should be clear to you. Somebody's got an agenda. Hey, I don't want to destroy my channel, so I'm done talking truth. I'm gonna promote lies now. Be careful. Be careful who you follow.
I'm gonna start pushing kitchen utensils. Join me for the next episode on that. How to. Yeah, no, I mean and that's what I think with like Fluid Pour Greg down there. Woodman and a lot of the guys in the team here. And I think Greg, you guys would agree that when you get a hunt dog and it gets a scent and it understands where it's hunting for and it gets in a routine and a rhythm. You guys, we're getting stuff from all you guys. Patriots are emailing us in. I'm getting stuff from, my family is sending me some stuff. Hey, check this out. There is so much that you can do on your own, and which actually this is a really great segue into some information that we had got earlier, and just got us hunting on a path to where if we really truly wanted to, where we can get into, and I believe it's called the PACER program. And that's something where it's a public court records, and you go look up stuff. And if they have all these alleged, all these indictments, like, you don't know nothing, Ben. How many of these indictments you have? There's a system. It's called PACER. And you can go look up public records, and are they sealed, unsealed? You can see how many are there, and it's not some, a guy website and he makes the numbers fancy. That's right, direct from there. So I think that that's always something you can get into yourself through your own investigation.
We got to bring that up real quick. Did you guys happen to catch the new Project Veritas?
I have not.
They were caught staging a fake COVID thing. Like, they were there to film.
CBS?
Yes.
CBS.
And then they went inside and got nurses or whatever. Like, come on, come out. And they're all like, why? And they didn't know. They didn't ask them. Like, we need you to be fake patients, all right? They kind of found out when they got out there. It was crazy. They caught them. And then...
Wow.
I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
Don't need your propaganda. And that's exactly, it's nuts, folks. Unbelievable. All right, well, we are at the hour mark. I think we're going to shut this one down. Tomorrow morning, I plan on doing another one, probably about 9:30, folks. It's going to be kind of early. I got to be done before certain things start happening around here in the late morning, so I do got to look for that 9:30 show and promptly to be over just around 10:30. So go for about an hour.
I will say, I will say on the side note, we got some the team, Mike and I, we got some really cool stuff coming up this weekend. Stay real close to your just keep the Patriot Hour close to your heart this weekend, because we're gonna be doing some fun stuff, bringing something a little bit out of the box for you this weekend, letting you know kind of how some of the team members do it here, and how eventually all you guys need to be doing it. So get ready for that. And I don't know, Greg, what about this Patriot Fest, man? I'm going to be there. I'm bringing my teepee tent. I'm going to be camping out, bringing my guitar. JT Wild's going to be there jamming live. It's going to be great. I know you and the fam are coming out, right?
Yes, sir. We are coming, and I actually just made connection with a Patriot down in Kissimmee, Florida, that is trying to set up transportation with us to get up there. So we will be bringing one more along with us. She couldn't have gotten there any other way, I don't think. So here we go. Is it that time?
It is that time.
Oh, it's that time, y'all. Why don't you all give a holla and a shout out? Where are you watching us from? Where do you call home?
Where you residing from?
Where do you lay your head at this moment in time? We'll call it out.
Saber-tooth cat.
Gets a little conjumbled.
Oh, we ain't gonna say nothing.
Little Long Island,
Michigan,
New York,
Alaska,
Crawford,
Texas,
Oceanside, New York. I know
Belfast, North Ireland,
Pensy.
Oh yeah, Tennessee, Oregon, Louisiana,
Smyrna,
Illinois,
Australia,
Florida,
Southwest Florida.
Long
Okay.
Island.
Sadly, Michigan. Michigan's beautiful. Georgia.
Las Vegas.
Ohio. I was just there today. You guys had high winds. Miss I, Sip I, PPI, PP. What up in the house? Debbie from Virginia.
Minnesota. Minnesota. Phoenix.
Minnesota. Dollywood. The Philippines. Nice.
Philippines.
Mark.
Hello.
What up?
England.
North Dakota, you're rocking.
Oregon.
Panama City, Florida.
John
Minnesota,
Elkhart.
Minnesota,
Florida.
Elkhart,
There you
Buena
go.
Park.
North Carolina.
Oklahoma.
Cali.
Sudan, Africa.
Taxi.
Nice. North Kakalaki. Massachusetts. Oh, General Flynn Post.
Taxachusetts.
Nice, good, nice.
Taxachusetts.
Philippines, Pennsylvania, Taxachusetts. Mackinac, Michigan.
Germany.
What up?
Dollywood. New
Imperial
Zealand.
Beach.
Hello.
New Zealand,
New Hampshire.
California,
Wuhan,
Wuhan,
China.
China. Hi, Australia.
Land down below.
MISSI, PPI, Shipyard.
SoCal.
Jersey's in the house. Nebraska.
Jacksonville, Walla Walla, UK, Arizona, upstate New York, on the John, North Carolina zoning, Oklahoma, St. Augustine,
Oha.
Socialist
Socialist
St.
Jersey.
out
Augustine.
Jersey.
Where's Communist Jersey at
Nebraska.
if Socialist Jersey is there? Sweat and
Sack,
Sack, Texas.
Texas. Hey, Alamo. Come
Have
and
a good
take
night,
it, baby.
Somerville.
Mike Hawk.
You guys have a great
Okay.
night.
Thank you.
Cali.
Good
Oh.
night.
Jersey. Good night. Oh, Kentucky's in the house.
What y'all
What
chatting about
up?
tonight?
What up? Okay, Illinois. What up?
John Crow.
Anchorage, coming in from Alaska, Oceanside, California, the Twilight Zone in the United States of America. Welcome to the Twilight
Keep on
Zone.
moving.
We're gonna pandemic.
The Twilight.
Camp
General
Lejeune,
Flynn
what up?
kicks ass.
December 5, brother.
Good night,
Oh,
Patriots.
this is great. Oh, you guys are awesome.
Shithole, Illinois.
Illinois, hey, Georgia, Wisconsin,
Yay,
St.
for
Louis,
this way.
Missouri.
Indiana.
Oh yeah. Palm Springs, Cali. I bet you guys
Scranton.
are sweating out there too.
See. Good day, guys. Love
Uh,
you all. Northwest, Archie. Lower
Lower
Sublovia.
Sublovia. I got enough. Germany, Bavaria. Well, what up?
Athens, Tennessee.
Bavaria, that's beautiful. Northeast
Trucker.
UK. We love our Patriots. Over the pond. West
Love our
Virginia.
truckers. Love the West Virginians.
Love our,
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks for what
Constitutional
you're doing
rights are
during this.
essential. That's right.
our
Constitutional
Ascension.
rights are
yes,
essential.
Austin, Malpass. I agree.
On the regulars.
Mendocino, Cali. Oh, yes. Oh, you guys are awesome. What up,
Yep.
Arkansas Army vet, Spring City,
Spring City,
Pennsylvania,
PA.
Florida,
5 of 5, guys.
South side of Chicago. You know little Leroy Brown from the South Side was the meanest man
Boring,
in
Oregon.
downtown.
Firefighters in PA behind you. Las Vegas,
Vegas
Patriot.
Patriot. What up?
We won
Kansas City.
$7,000.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Dirty Jersey's back in the
Dirty
house.
Jersey. Thanks for all
Penn
the
Island.
donations.
Staten
The only thing open is the PayPal and the GoFund. We appreciate it. Staten Island, New York. Where did 25 trillion go under Obama? I don't know.
Man, Hog Heaven, Arkansas, Vero Beach, Florida,
Kentucky for Trump.
Stinking Sanctuary, Jersey. I love you guys, man. You Jerseyans, that's really cool. I love it. I
Marines
love
are
what
the
you do.
president's own. Wolfville and Nova Scotia.
Own. Oh,
Thank you.
guys,
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you all the Patriots. Thank you all.
Oh,
All
so
right.
blessed.
Well, if you guys are able to, if you're Fluid Pour, what's your, you got some new internet coming? You already got the old one disconnect?
Nope. We're going to keep that one up for the kids for schooling, and I'm going to have this one strictly for the studio.
You won't need
Fluid Pour
both, I
got
would
his
imagine.
own juice. His own
Yeah,
juice.
probably not, but
You could
it's
probably
a
get rid of that other one.
contract thing.
Well, you,
I don't know.
you always
We'll
got
see.
30 days, brother. You always got 30 days. Or at least a
Oh, yeah.
week.
Alrighty.
I would
I'm going to
imagine.
call him back and tell him to take
Well,
it back.
I'm just saying, if you're, because that was pretty horrible. I mean, it would be good just to get on and shoot something, like some homework out, but I don't know. All right. Well, you figure that out. I'm sending you bonus General Flynn tomorrow. Oh, thank you, John Brulin. I got the
Yes,
poster.
yes.
I'm getting a thing for it. She sent me a poster signed from Flynn. I've yet to get a.
Do you have a frame? If you can give me
I-
the measurements, we will make you a frame.
All right, I will. It's a
Ooh.
typical poster size.
Custom.
I'll make sure I'll
It'll
get
be
it
some
measured.
nice woodwork to do. Yes.
I remember it's a beautiful poster that maybe You see, you guys, that's why you got to beat this Patriots fast. There's so much awesome stuff that's going to be popping off. So much we can't even remember it to see what's happening. So,
Whew. All right. Well,
Yeah,
we are
beautiful
done.
brothers.
Cheers, my brothers.
God bless
Yes,
you.
sir.
I salute
See
you,
you
brothers
guys.
in arms. All you Patriots out there.
All you
we love
Patriots, all you
Yes.
Patriots, and then all the trolls. No, I was joking. Look.
You know how it goes.
Go away.
Go away.
All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Patriots, have a great night. And
God
we
bless
love all
every
of
one
you.
of you.
God bless you.
See you for the Brown Beaners
safe.
tomorrow.
Brown
Sir.
bean. Love the brown beans in the morning. The brown bean juice. Get you going. All right, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you all for being here. And we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour show tomorrow morning. Bright and early. Maybe do a couple of phone calls with all the good news. Keep your eyes and ears open. If you hear anything, drop us an email. Drop a link down below, or point us in the right direction down below this video. Tons of Patriots are down there waiting. You guys have a great night. God bless.